For all participants, we'd like to have you, if you are a board member, to keep your video on, and anybody that is talking, go ahead and turn your video on, and you can turn it back off when you're done, but just so that we can see who is talking.
Thanks, Dave. I'm going to go ahead and call the Mangum City Hospital Authority special session for July 30th to order. If you would, Billy, please call the roll.
Zachary.
Here.
High school. High school.
Here.
Lively.
Cheryl is here and unable to use the video today.
Okay, we do have a quorum. Item 3, consent agenda. Consider a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, we have a motion.
I'll second that motion.
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Call for the vote, please.
Oh, hang on. I want to make just one statement. In one of the reports, I noticed where there had been employee training, boot camp. Can't remember the right term. I didn't write it down, but I just wanted to make note that I think that employee training is really, really important to everybody's jobs. And, you know, we can't expect great things to come out of the hospital if we're not properly training our employees. So I was glad to see that.
I agree, Cheryl. Thank you. Any other discussion? Call for the vote, please.
Zachary.
Yes.
High school.
Ilka, you're muted.
Yes.
Lively.
Yes.
Ilka, you've got 2 logins.
That's just the equivalent of a walk, walk, walk.
Okay, we'll move forward. Now I'm on the same wave as Ilka. Okay.
I think I fixed it.
Okay, thank you, Dave. Item 4, no items removed. So we'll move on to item 5, discussion and possible action to approve amendment to participation agreement with UHC BACCN.
Hello.
Hi. Oh, I guess I forgot I don't have my camera up.
This,
There we go. So the UHC, this is just an amendment to the current agreement. No significant changes. This has been reviewed by our payer contract expert, and they're recommending approval. The rate schedule is based on Medicare rates, so we're pretty happy with that.
Okay. Any questions for Cassie or any other discussion? Okay. consider a motion?
I'll make that motion.
A motion to approve the UHC VACCN as presented. Do we have a second? Elka, are you still with us?
Ilka's reconnecting now.
Okay.
Hello?
Ilka, I don't know what you missed. So did you hear any of Cassie's talk on item 5, the agreement?
I did not. I only
Cassie,
heard.
can you readdress what you said, please? Sorry. You're muted, Cassie. Sorry.
Man. Okay, this is just an update to the current agreement that's in place. They're just updating some standard language and updating the rates to match our Medicare rates, which is what we want.
Okay, and being that actually that Ilka wasn't a part of the meeting, I believe Sherry, you'll have to remake that motion if you want to approve. Is that correct, Dave?
Yes, we need to remake the motion.
Okay. Sorry, Cheryl.
That's fine. Okay, I'll make that motion.
Okay, we have a motion to approve the agreement with UHC VACCN as presented. Do we have a second?
I'll second that motion.
Okay, any other discussion? Billy, call for the vote, please.
Lively,
Yes.
Zachary,
Yes.
High School,
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 6, discussion and possible action to approve Integris Cardiovascular Physicians LLC part-time lease agreement.
Hi, this is Margaret. It is just updating the contract with the doctor from Integris, the cardiologist, and we just updated their old lease agreement, basically the same terms.
Okay. Any questions for Margaret? Discussion?
No questions. I'll make a motion to accept it.
We have a motion to accept as presented. Do we have a second?
Yes.
We have
Second.
a motion and a second. Call for the vote, please.
High School,
Yes.
Zachary,
Yes.
Lively,
Yes.
Okay, item 7, discussion and possible action to approve contract between the Mangum Regional Medical Center and See the Trainer.
That's me also. See the Trainer is a company that provides durable medical equipment in the facility. It's especially important at the rural health clinic and can be issued out of the emergency room. The main reason that we believe that this is a win-win on both the facility side as well as the patient side is on the facility side, when the durable medical equipment such as knee braces, crutches, wrist braces, neck braces, whatnot, are issued out, as the Mangum Family Medical Clinic is getting their rural health clinic rate, it allows the facility to keep 100% of the all-inclusive rate. And so we're not losing, say the rate comes in at $200 and we have to issue a brace, we're not losing $50, $60 of issuing a brace out to the patient out of our $200 rate. So that's the win on the hospital side, is that we maintain the all-inclusive rate. On the patient side, if they were told you need crutches or a brace and they went down and purchased that at the retail pharmacy, they would be paying retail rates for that. And instead they're billed through their insurance. And so if 80, 90, sometimes 100% of their insurance will cover the cost and go towards their deductible. So that's a benefit to the patient versus having to buy it at a retail price. So we're encouraging this contract. It's a $0 out of pocket to start them up. They come in, they put their durable medical equipment in the closet. A rate sheet is issued out and they're billed directly by the company through their insurance. And there's no money for an initial outlay from the facility side. Any questions?
Thanks, Margaret.
Okay.
Any other discussions, questions? If not, consider a motion to approve.
Make the motion to approve that contract.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I shall second the motion.
We have a motion and a second. Thank you. Call for the vote, please.
Zachary,
Yes.
High School,
Yes.
Lively,
Yes.
Item 8, discussion and possible action to approve contract between the Mangum Regional Medical Center and Cable One Inc., DBA Sparklight Business.
All right, that is me, Marie. What this is we currently have a contract. We have 2 contracts in place. This new contract with Sparklight would replace the 2 existing. Right now we have a contract for the backup cable, and then we also have a contract for TV. This new contract with Sparklight would upgrade our backup cable internet to fiber. It would increase the reliability, and it would also lower the latency issues. It will eliminate the cable boxes in the patient's room. It will provide the patients with quality television and clean remotes. I recommend that this is a better solution for our current contract.
Maria, and I don't have it in front of me. Everything was digital. What is the extra cost?
There is no extra cost. It's actually lower.
Oh, okay. Any other discussion, questions for Marie? Thank you for negotiating a better rate for the hospital.
All right, thank you.
And
Consider a
with that-
motion. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
With that, I will go ahead and make that motion to
Make a motion?
approve the contract.
Do we have a second?
Yes. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Call for the vote, please.
Lively,
Yes.
Zachary,
Yes.
High School,
Yes.
Item 9, discussion and possible action to approve contract renewal between the Mangum Regional Medical Center and Millipore Sigma.
That's me. This is Daniel.
Hey,
So
Daniel.
this is a renewal contract. We've seen this one before. It's for the hydro or the water portion of our chemistry analyzer, just to keep that service contract going, make sure that system works like it's supposed to.
Any changes?
No, sir. It's exactly what we've seen.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I'll make the motion to approve that contract renewal between the hospital and Millipore Sigma.
And I'll go ahead and second that motion.
Thank you. Call for the vote, please.
High School,
Yes.
Lively,
Yes.
Zachary,
Yes. Item 10, discussion and possible action with regard to nominating a board representative to participate in the mediation scheduled August 4th and 5th involving the AHSO SCA litigation. Corey, did you have something on this?
Bill, is this the updated agenda?
I believe this is. I have 20 on this one and the other one was 19, correct?
yes.
Okay. I think that at this point, I would suggest that there's some executive sessions coming on later, right?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
I don't have the updated one. I would wait I would just skip this one for now and do those executive sessions first, and then we can come back.
Come back. Okay. On to item 11, discussion regarding amending Article 7 of the trust indenture to allow the Town of Granite Board of Trustees to assign one person from its body to serve on the Hospital Board of Trustees and allow the City of Mangum Board of Commissioners to assign one person from its body to serve on the hospital board of trustees. Corey, Dave, I mean, somebody have something to add?
This is just for discussion. Dave and I have got our heads together to try to figure out a better way to get trustees on this board. This is the proposal that Dave and I kind of came up with, and that's to get both a community, and we're not trying to exclude Willow, but Mangum community, the Board of Commissioners, Granite community, more vested in the hospital, have more say in direction and control. It also takes a lot of the burden off this board by making those particular political bodies to actually appoint people to be on this board. One position goes to Granite, one goes to the City of Mangan Board of Commissioners. It also helped be a little bit more transparent because information that's garnered from that will then be able to be fed into those other boards, so that they're both communities are pretty much up to speed on everything. It still keeps the current board structure. The vast majority would still have to be a beneficiary of the trustee and with the one county representative. So it doesn't affect any of the current board members currently on, but it's a solution to the 2 vacant spots. And then the other 3 positions will still be appointed in accordance with this board's recommendation and the commissioners appointing those.
Okay, my question is, what has changed since the last time we discussed this? And before it was that there should be no city council, that was a conflict of interest. So what's different on it?
It wasn't a conflict of interest. I never used the phrase conflict of interest. It was a indemnity thing. In short, what it was to do is to create a wall of separation from the city and from the trust authority. And that is for essentially from a liability perspective. However, let's be honest with ourselves. It's getting difficult to find people to serve on this board. And so this was a solution that Dave and I kind of came up with. Because at one time, the entire city commission did in fact serve on the hospital board.
Right.
If I may, while we're talking about, I'm not sure I understand the quote, the phrase difficulty to find somebody for this board. The notes I have from last meeting, I show that not just was a motion made for a gentleman in Mangum to take the place of Greta Kane, but there was one other name mentioned, and specifically I had asked if that was the time to bring in an additional name to fulfill the second trustee's place, that we accepted the resignation last meeting. So I guess, would this be a question of the point of order? Do we not first have to follow up with the motion that was made and accepted at last meeting of that one proposal for the trustee for Greta Kane's slot? So again, clarification on the difficulties, as you just stated, because I wasn't aware that we had a difficulty.
Well, the city didn't approve your choice. The city tabled.
Okay, well, you did
took
not
no
say
action
that.
on your recommendation. And so this was
Okay,
another
so-
option that we're going with, because the city of Mangum ultimately has the decision making on who goes on this board.
Okay, so what I heard you say just now is the city commissioners did not approve the proposed name that we brought to them.
They took no action at that time, yes.
Okay, but that was also under your advisement, because I went back and watched the YouTube of that, and you told them, in the very beginning, the discussion was to table it. Then you went back and they decided, hey, if they didn't take any action, they could let it go off. But Dave had already started kind of telling a little bit about it prior to it being on that number. So were they privy to all the information, or did they do that just after you all? I mean, so they technically really did not approve of him. It's more of, hey, let's just wait that out and let's no action, and then it dies. Is that more like it because of maybe the language you all mentioned that it was complicated at this time, and that you were going to had some things in mind. And that, now you might not have said this. It might have been Dave. I didn't write down who said that, but anyway, so I'll just be honest, since we're on it, it was pretty troubling for me to sit here and watch that, because it talked about parliamentary procedure problems. I see no more problems in what we do here than what goes on in any other city council meeting or things of that nature. So at some point, if y'all will kind of clarify what you meant by that. And it's not warm bodies being placed in that. I don't feel like I'm a warm body, and I've never felt that way, and I certainly hope that's not how I am viewed, as a warm body without any sense at all being on this actual trust. It's kind of concerning for me. So.
So I'm just going to step in a little bit. After we discussed the appointment of putting somebody on the board, Corey and I had been discussing this beforehand. And
Sure.
The reason we wanted, really the reason I wanted somebody on the board from the city of Mangum was to be able to report back to the city what's going on at the hospital. I get questions from them.
I know, and see, I've kind of always wondered why you weren't the representative that sat there to be able, since it's a city function. I kind of thought that would be what you would normally do. So.
Sorry, your voice kind of went mumbled.
Oh, sorry. No, I just assume that's probably what would be best for you to do. So in that way, it's totally everybody's on the up and up, and you report. You know, we had you a few times. I remember back when I first got on, you were there a few times for the meetings. So anyway, Mary Jane's been there.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, I think Ronnie might have been there once. Twice.
It was a discussion we were having. It's something that I know there is interest in the commission for doing it, because they do know of our thoughts on it. So honestly, I'm kind of the odd man out here. I'm here to host and organize this meeting online and get Zoom going. As far as the decision is the board's. So,
Dave, I agree with you. I mean, I understand Cheryl's concerns, but I mean, I agree that the commission, with the decisions that have been made and are being made and what's going on, that the council needs to be aware of all of these things. And it's very difficult if we don't have somebody of that body of our number to be, and me personally, this is just my personal opinion. I think that having someone else from the county, you know, we've added Ilka, you know, as a member of in the city limits. And then now we're bringing one of our other communities in our county abroad, maybe more of a buy-in, if that's the best word I have, that they will be more willing to use the facility, have more knowledge about what really is going on, and like I say, more buy-in to this facility. Because if we don't have the communities in this county, as we all know, that this is something that we may not have the luxury of having a few years from now.
Okay, kind of explain, Corey, is there a tax structure that's set up for, you know, Mangum people to pay in toward the hospital in any way?
The city of Mangum receives no public revenue. It's completely and totally self-sufficient.
So back in 2004, when when Granite did not want a part of it, I thought it was because they didn't want to have to pay any kind of taxes over here. So is that part of this been dissolved?
That bond has been paid back.
Gotcha.
Currently, that bond was taken out originally in the 1990s and then renewed in 0304 for the sole purpose of paying back hospital debt.
Mm-hmm.
But what we did was we took out the bond, then transferred the operations to Blackhawk. But currently at this point,
last year.
yes, and the bond has been completely paid off. So it's because 0% of any public monies goes into that hospital at this point.
So now they would be able to, they would love to jump on board just so they don't have to pay anything. Gotcha.
Again, this is just to get the discussion going. That's it. That's why it's here. If y'all say no tonight, then we just move on to the next agenda item.
So could we table it to an undetermined time?
Well, when you table, it has to be for a determined time. If you take no action, it falls off until requested to be put back on.
Okay.
No action.
Okay, so we would consider a motion. Is there a motion?
Well, you won't do a motion on 11. This was just for discussing the potential to do this.
Okay,
The number 12 is the actual resolution if we was going to do anything. I
okay,
kind of separate that way to get more feedback before actually to vote on this structure. Because again,
okay.
my
Any other
proposal-
discussion on item 11 then? Item 12, discussion and possible action with regard to adopting resolution 2020-H002, amending Article 7 of the Hospital Trust Indenture to allow the town of Granite and the city of Mangum to assign one member of each entity's respective boards to serve on the hospital board of trustees. Do we have a motion? Okay. No motion. So we'll take no action on item 12. Item 13, discussion and possible action to enter an executive session in accordance with Oklahoma Statute 25 OS 307B1 for the purpose of discussing the proposed approval of medical staff privileges, credentials between above listed providers, actually below, and Mangum Regional Medical Center. This executive session will occur live in Zoom video conference breakout room and will not be viewable to the public.
And we only need to go in there if we need to discuss. If we just want to approve credentialing and do the reappointment, we don't need the executive session.
Okay.
Do we have a motion to either go into executive or to reappoint Jeffrey D. Phillips, PhD?
I'll make the motion to reappoint.
Second.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. All right, call for the vote, please.
Zachary,
Yes.
High School,
Yes.
Lively,
Yes.
Item 15, discussion of possible action to receive an update from the authority's attorney as it relates to ongoing litigation between the authority and AHSO's joint venture with the First National Bank of Veneta with possible executive session in accordance with 25 OS 307B4.
And we need an executive session for this one.
Okay, we have a motion to move an executive. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Yes.
Have a second, yes.
Call for the vote.
High School,
Yes.
Lively,
Yes.
Zachary,
Yes. Corey, who all needs to be in the executive?
The 3 board members, myself, Michael English, Sarah Potts, and I don't see Michael Lynn Scott anymore, but the 3 board members, myself, Michael English and Michael Scott. Oh, and Lynn Scott and Michael English and Sarah Potts.
Yeah.
So 3 attorneys and 3 board members. Now, when y'all see that pop out, just click.
Go in the link. don't know if everybody's back. I think I hit the wrong button.
I did too.
I had to reconnect.
So did I.
Me too.
Yeah, I did too.
Got everybody back.
I can't.
Everybody's back. Dave, you say everybody's back?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Item 16, discussion of possible action with regard to executive session, no action taken. Go back to item 10, if you have the agenda in front of you. Item 10, discussion of possible action with regard to nominating a board representative to participate in a mediation scheduled August 4th and 5th involving the AHSO and SCA litigation.
Make a motion that we send Corey and Elka
With settlement
as our
authority.
board representative. Sorry,
Okay.
With settlement authority.
with settlement authority.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I guess I second myself.
We have a motion and a second. Call for the vote, please.
Zachary,
Yes.
High School,
Yes.
Lively,
Yes.
Okay. Item 17, discussion of possible action regarding the ongoing investigation into ASO's financial management of the hospital, where with advice of counsel, confidential information may be disclosed that will impact the authority's ability to prosecute, defend, or investigate such claim with possible executive session in accordance with 25 OS 307 B4. We have a motion to go into executive, please.
Yes. I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Call for the vote, please.
Lively,
Yes.
High School,
Yes.
and Zachary.
Yes. Same group, I believe, Dave, needs to go back in.
Roger. Hang on just a second.
I think we need Cassie in as well. Is it too late to add Cassie?
Okay, that invited everybody. If you get in there and you're not supposed to be there, just kick yourself back out.
Okay.
I don't think I got an invite. Was I supposed to get invited?
I
Yeah.
haven't either, Cassie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. There's a limitation in Zoom about opening the breakout sessions twice.
Okay.
So I'm getting there.
So does that mean we can't go back in? Wait.
I got one.
Okay, who else needed to go in there?
Sarah Potts and Michael English.
Lynn Scott, did you need to go in there?
Hello, this is Mike.
Yeah, did you need to go into that executive session with them? Because you're with Sarah and Michael English, right?
Yes, I am. That's right. Yes.
Did everybody else make it back?
No, we're just back.
That guy, that one's kicked me out too. So I don't know what the deal is. The first time I was able to leave room, but that one just gave me the option to leave meeting. So we're gonna have to all come back.
Yep, I'll let you know.
Okay.
Zach, all three members are back.
Is everybody back?
That's affirmative.
That
Everybody.
one kicked me out that time, Zach. So I was in the same boat as you that time. The first time I was able to leave room, but that one just said leave meeting.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, no action on item 18. So item 19, discussion and possible action to accept the best and most responsible estimate for the drains and roof repair for the hospital roof. And that was, I think, an additional attachment, right, that you sent us, Billy?
You're muted, Billy. Billy, you're muted.
Yes. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
thank you. I know, and this is going way back. Billy, I don't know, this may be even before you were clerk, but we did, when I was on council and on the authority years ago, we did a new roof.
We did a new roof in 2015 as well.
So if they're doing similar warranties on these, my questions to whomever.
This was the problem with the warranty on this, is these drains, they're drains. I don't understand exactly how they go. They're kind of between the roof and the ceiling or something. And we weren't able to get them repaired. Curtis, I guess, checked several places. And he was, they were told when they put that roof on, if they didn't get those new drains put in, then it would mess up the warranty and it wouldn't, it would be done.
Corey, do you know if we have any documentation on any of that? Because I mean, like this warranty from McAfee Fox is a 20-year. And I know it hasn't been 20. If it was similar then, we didn't have a 20-year. It hasn't been 20 years since we did that roof is what I'm getting at.
Well, I feel like the first company, because this came up actually, because we did a new roof, and then I think 15, it happened again, but I believe we actually had to repair it 17 or 18 maybe.
You did have to have something done, yes.
That
guy's not in business anymore.
And that was the issue, was I think Blacks did it, and they're not in business anymore. So we don't have anybody that can take over that warranty. But really, I try not to add too much into it, but I really do think you're throwing away good money. I don't know how much this bid is, but because I didn't get the bid sheet, but
sorry,
it's okay as long as we're under the public bidding requirements. I'm not going to throw a fit, but
this bid actually covers both fixing those drains and fixing the roof. So something
correct
has not been done in the past. So Mark Chapman came in and talked to me about it a little bit, and he said, "Yeah, this company is going to come in and do both. They're going to fix the plumbing work and they're going to fix the roof." So if they do this right, and this is the same company that did the Mason building, the Masonic Lodge, and any problems we've had with them, they have been there within hours to fix anything that was. I think we only had one issue, and it was with a door. So
they also did CDU.
Yeah, they also did the CDU. So same company. They've come in and they've done some really good work for us in the past, and we're really glad that they bid on this. And The other bids that we tried to get actually didn't even, they never showed up to put in a work on it, a scope of work, sorry.
So where are we pulling the $100,000 from?
Well, this is only, my understanding from Mark Chapman is that we're only doing a portion on the bottom, that highlighted section. And it's supposed to be, I don't have that paperwork in front of me. It's like 33,000.
Okay, the estimate we have for Maccabee Fox is 83,000, and then the one for the let's see if it from Luckinbill is the drains. The drains is
Those are two separate issues. Maccabee is actually doing both the drains and the roof. So Luckinbill is only going to work on fix those drains.
So do we need both of them? I guess.
Okay. Yeah, at this point that roof is shot. If the drains were to have been done back in 2015, the roof would have been salvaged. But from what McAfee and Mark Chapman had told me, they went up there, they looked at it, and the whole thing just needs to be replaced. So they're wanting to do it in sections, 3 sections. And if you look at the bottom of that sheet in smaller writing, it talks about doing the work in phases. And what they're requesting, and Billy, correct me if I'm wrong, because you talked to Mark after I did, but what my understanding was that they were requesting to do the first phase, which was just that center that was highlighted. And it was going to be 34,000.
Yeah.
Are we doing the 4 drains initially when we do the first section?
I wish I had Mark here because he would know the answer to that.
I was just.
The only reason I even know anything about this is that Mark stopped me on the way out as I was walking out of the office. So
I was just curious if we needed to approve it. If we did decide to approve it, would we need to? I didn't know how much we need to approve. We need to approve the full amount, or just?
Yeah, Daniel, did you talk to Mark about this at all?
Yes, it's my understanding that the drains and the midsection will be done initially, but the intent is to get the entire thing done, because all that weight that's been supporting, or all that roof that's been supporting all that weight without the drains working, is what's caused the problem. So it's widespread across there, but the section that we need right now to stop the OR2 from leaking to be able to triage our patients in that negative pressure area is that midsection and the drains. That's the understanding I have. I haven't actually seen the contract. That's just the way Mark explained it to me.
But it says that on Maccabees that in doing this way, that Maccabee Fox Roofing will put the 4 drains in for free of charge, and then we're getting the bid from Luckinbill. I was just curious. I mean, is this all of the underwork that Luckinbill is doing?
The bid from Luckinbill was just to fix those drains.
So if we do the Maccabee Fox, we can throw the Luckinbill out, is what you're telling me?
Yes, that is what Mark, when he showed me that, and it was Luckinbill's bill was, I think it was like $3,000 over what it was last year to fix these things. So evidently they looked into this last year to fix it, but it never got anywhere. I don't know. I was not involved in that.
Okay. Thank you for helping make sense of that day.
I wish I knew more. I really do.
Zach, I know that Mark told me that just the $30,000 bid would fix the 4 drains and what's leaking right now. That's the information he gave me.
Did he give you any kind of time frame on when he would like to do the other 2 sections?
No. We were trying to fix what was emergent, because that OR2 is our triage room for any of the COVID patients and patients in general. So it has extensive water that is leaking, anytime, of course, that it rains, etc.
Are we using funds from some of the COVID funds on this, or how are we paying for it?
No, that was not my understanding. I thought that it was the city.
Well, the hospital board has to approve it. We don't. Corey, how does this work? Because as the agreement, is it the hospital that's responsible for it, the hospital board that's responsible for it, or the city? We talked about this.
Yeah, you're supposed to remember what I said before.
And yeah, I remember. So I put it on the hospital board.
Yeah.
That's what you told me. So that's what I did.
It's like the PWA takes care of all the PWA stuff. The city takes care of the city stuff. The hospital takes care of the hospital stuff.
Right.
Dave told me he was responsible.
Well, how do we do this? How do we get it done? That's the question.
That's my question. If you want to pay for it, Dave, we're good.
Right. We'll just, we'll make that happen somehow. We don't have the funds to do it. I can tell you that right now. If we had to do it, I have no idea where we could come up with that. The problem is
another bid next year is what we do again, right? Is what you're telling me?
Yeah, it's going to be another problem.
Better get a good blue tarp.
So can we even make a motion if we don't know where the funds are coming from?
I don't think you can unless you have the money to spend.
Because we don't even have it in capital improvement. I mean, we just emptied out portions of the capital improvement to do fix another broken issue. So.
Jamal could probably pay for it tonight.
I think we can move to do that.
Making sure he's awake.
I'm here.
So Corey, do we need to just table it?
I would either, I guess the part I'm uncomfortable with tonight is, this is definitely an emergency repair, so we're not really underneath the Public Competitive Bidding Act. We actually got a higher ceiling than normal on this. But the issue that I have with it is that we have a bid for the entire roof. So we really need to probably, if it's just that one section and drains, we probably need to bid out that one section and drains so we can have comparative bids, because we don't have comparative bids is the issue.
Okay, but you do know that McAfee Fox, he did put that on here, right? Did you know that was on?
No, I haven't seen the bid sheet. So,
and he actually is not charging us anymore by breaking it out into three different. He says in the notes, I'll just read it what it says, by breaking it down into three sections and doing them in a level of priority. This job can be broke down into the north, south, and central areas. The south and central sections are the two biggest sections that would equal $30,000 each. The north section is smaller of the three. It would cost $23,000. And doing it this way, MFR, McAfee Fox Roofing, will put the 4 drains in for free of charge to help with the cost of this project to ensure that the roof leak stops. So he's doing $83,000 plus he's doing the 4 drains, where Luckenbill is just doing your 4 drains for $15,643.
And then you have to get a plumber and a roofer.
I mean, I guess you could approve that one section, but again, ultimately we'll have to decide where the money's coming from. to fix it.
Yeah, I haven't seen the bids. This is, I think this was a last minute item that got on the agenda, but I know we can't use COVID funds for it. We would have to go back and look and see where we could pull cash from, but it's gonna impact suppliers and other operations.
We can also look into this is a provincial is the insurer on this building. So we may be able to look for them and see if they can, but the problem with that is that there's no insurable asset on it because the roof is so new.
Have we talked to our insurance carrier about this roof?
It's a separate insurance. The hospital is actually under its own insurance. It's not OMAG. So OMAG is the city's insurer for all of our facilities, but this particular building is done through Castle.
Philadelphia Life or Philadelphia Insurance.
Philadelphia, sorry, not provincial. Yeah.
Have we talked to the insurance company? Because I mean, there's a tornado pretty close to that hospital, and I'm sure we have some hail damage.
Well, in just FYI, you know, we are in the middle of settling on the building here at Mangum Brick for the tornado damages. I mean, and anyway, you're just what, a quarter mile down the road?
Yeah.
So maybe it may be something worth addressing.
Not even a quarter of a mile. I mean, we're probably
An eighth
of a mile down the road. Yeah. But Billy, we can talk to Castle, find out. We didn't, and the reason is because we deal with OMAG. We don't deal with Castle, but we can definitely give them a call.
Well, I think that might be the solution if the insurance come in, and because I know OMAG's a dream to deal with, because OMAG, I think it'd be fixed 10 times by now.
I just don't know whether they're with them saying that the reason the roof's so bad is because those drains weren't put in.
Right. That was my only concern is that bringing the insurance company in, they're going to look at that and say it wasn't installed properly to begin with, or something to that effect. And here we are talking about stuff that we probably shouldn't be talking about in open session because it's,
Sure.
Yeah. So we will reach out to them, and we will bring that back to you as soon as possible.
So
Great.
my
Courtney,
recommendation
go ahead.
would be to table this until next regular meeting. Look, see if we can file an insurance claim on the roof, and then if not, then we can address financials at that point.
If the financials come through with the insurance, we can do this and approve post haste. I mean, after we fix it. This is an emergency, and with an emergency repair that needs to be done, we can do emergency funding and then basically get funding afterwards. So we
Okay.
don't have to wait that long.
Any other discussion? Comments? Entertain a motion to table.
I will make that motion.
I'll second it.
Motion and second. Call for the vote, please.
Zachary,
Yes.
High School,
Yes.
Lively.
Yes.
Item 20, adjourn.
Make that motion to adjourn.
And I shall second that motion.
Call for the vote, please.
High School,
Yes.
Lively,
Yes.
Zachary,
Yes.